In the last story dissection and review video, where I showed you what a scaled down, or either that or a small, like a reserve type of installation, which could be also the same concepts applying on a much larger installation, what that would look like from a tactical, smaller view perspective, like how some of the basic tactical concepts I showed you in the Broken Bow story review, where they're capturing the town, would look like when imposed on a installation. Well, here I am showing you some more advanced tactical concepts, such as the closing L formation. And now this can be vehicles or it can be individual troops, but I showed you a little bit of the concept with vehicles and troops in the third story when Laredo is being captured and cleared of American combatants by the Chinese PLA. What it looks like is this. Say, for instance, you have, it could be a building, or it could be entrenched infantry like this in a trench system, like a fortification. And what you have here is you have, like, say, half a platoon, which is 2 squads. And this is their starting points. The orange is the direction they're firing in with their rifles or their small arms, maybe a light machine gun or 2. And this is their starting point for this side of the L. 1 squad, 10 men or so. 10, it can be 12. And then up here, you have the starting point of another 10 to 12 men. Now, what they will do is, as they're laying suppressive fire, one will yell to the other to move. And you have this one going first. All the men bound, and then stop to take cover and begin laying suppressive fire at this entrenched group. And then what you have is that after that squad moves, this squad moves. See, this is number 3. They move, take position, lay suppressive fire. Then they yell to the other squad to move, or they call it in on the communications equipment, the radio. Then this squad that has been laying suppressive fire here gets up and bounds to their next covering point to lay suppressive fire. And you see they're progressively getting closer and closer to the entrenched infantry. The point of bounding and covering and laying suppressive fire is to get the enemy to keep their heads down so you can get progressively closer each and every single time. Now they lay suppressive fire. Now you have these guys that are now here laying suppressive fire get up and bound to their next covering point. And now they lay suppressive fire. And then you have these guys get up to their last final point as close as they can get to the enemy trenches or fortifications or building or whatever it is and lay suppressive fire. And then these guys do the same. And they reach this point. Now you have a closed L. And at the fulcrum, I have a little thing saying closing L, limit of advance. When we used to practice this in the Army, when you get to this point to where your forces are in a closed L, where they're all together, laying fire on the, laying down a volume of heavy fire on the target here, you have the guys on the very end yell LOA, LOA, which means limit of advance. You know, like you don't go any further to avoid friendly fire until new arrangements are made. Like, say, if you want to fix bayonets and storm the trench system, or I don't know, it could be anything. But that is a closing L. And I take you to another one that shows more of the diamond. I showed you the rolling diamond concept before on another story dissection and review video. These are all common tactical formations employed by military forces in various capacities for doing various types of things. Like in the Florida campaign videos, when the the air assault infantry were storming the municipal airport, they did a diamond around their helos once they all came out of their helos, out of both doors. and surrounded their helos in a diamond formation. It can be a rolling diamond too, which offers 360-degree security. And I show you an example. You see enemies on the different sides and they're being engaged. That is a diamond formation or a rolling diamond if they're moving. They move as a unit, as a diamond shape. It's like a wedge back to back, like two wedges, each is back to back. And that offers them 360-degree security so that nobody can sneak up on and flank them. This is like a 10 to 12 man squad. I have the 11th and 12th man circled here in case it's a 12 man, but it can still be a 10 man. And the little semicircles is their field of fire, which each man is responsible for, which offers the entire overlapping fields of fire that gives them that 360-degree coverage against enemies. And I take you to the rolling T, which you've read that a lot in my stories. Now, this is a great one for when you are going down a street that has buildings that are still intact that enemies could be up on top of, as well as to the sides of or inside of, whatever. The man on each end of the point man, you see it's a T because there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 point men, but there's a point man that faces forward, and then there's 2 on the ends of him that face up, that can engage people on tops of buildings or in second floor, third floor windows, whatever. And then you have these guys following behind to give the rest of the 360-degree security. Again, the little semicircles show their fields of fire, the areas they're responsible for coverage on for the entire formation. This is a squad here, just one squad. Now, when you have like a company doing this, all the squads and companies are doing different types of formations to see whatever works best for seizing an objective or holding an objective. These all offer 360 security. Now up here, this is star formations. Now, you already seen a little bit of this when I showed you those People's Armed Police doing it. They were practicing this in a what looked like a practice maneuver or practice drills, but this would work highly effectively for when you're going through a fortified area with trench systems and foxholes. You could have, this is one squad broken down into 4 3-man star formations, 12-man squad, and they're moving through, and each little individual star has 360-degree fields of fire to protect them from enemies. As they walk through, they can engage literally every single trench and every single foxhole, working together. Each star is a self-contained 360-degree field of fire pattern that can work together, all 4 of them, to literally walk right through in the midst of the enemy defenses and engage all the enemies in these different trenches and foxholes. That also works in a 5-man star, like right here. Here's 2 5-man stars. This is one squad broken down into 2 5-man stars. It's the same concept, just more people in a star. And then I finally take you to a more advanced concept here, like of a flanking maneuver with mech infantry. These are 2 armor personnel carriers. They could be any design of them. This one is laying down the suppressive fire on the foxhole, while this one has the infantry coming out of the back, this infantry squad peeling out the back and forming into a wedge formation to attack and outflank the trench system here with the entrenched forces that are being attacked by this APC firing forward. And you see this one's doing a rolling shield with its squad behind it for protection. They can peel off whenever they're ready to also assist in the assault. But, you know, these are common flanking maneuvers here with armored vehicles and mech inf troops. But this is just to give you an overall idea of the types of things that the stories I wrote talk about. And you notice that all my stories, either some or all of them, feature some of these formations, if not all of them. But when you read the stories, these story review videos are made to show you what you can expect from a highly organized, highly trained, highly disciplined, highly well-equipped and skilled force. And you could see with these types of tactics how they easily can, even being outnumbered, can easily defeat poorly equipped, poorly trained, poorly disciplined forces, because their teamwork, their equipment, so on and so forth, organization and level of discipline is very high. And a highly disciplined, well-oiled machine can beat a highly non-disciplined, shoddy, unwell-equipped force any day of the week. I mean, that's not to say that guerrilla fighters can't beat militaries. They do, but it's a matter of casualty and attrition rates. And as you can see, the well-trained forces have much less attrition rates than the non-well-trained, non-well-organized, non-well communicating and organized, disciplined, so on, non-well-equipped. So this is just to give you an idea of what these stories I wrote in the community tab are even discussing. So that wraps this one up. On the next one, I'll show how they clear buildings of different types. So may Yeshua bless and keep you all always.